Hey everybody, it's been quite a few months since I've had a new video up. Just been real busy and it's been the off time, so I'm not doing a lot of bee stuff and a lot of gardening. I'm just pretty much doing a lot of schoolwork. But I have a video here for you. There really aren't very many on the on YouTube or on the internet about them, but it's about the OXAVAP, the ProVap 110. I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought one of these because I made an attempt to build one myself, and I came very, very close. I had the temperature and everything worked out. There was one main issue, and the one main issue is the lack of thermal mass, in order to heat up all of your oxalic acid quickly. And I couldn't figure out how it did that, and these folks here figured it out, of course. So I ended up buying one. I splurged and bought one. It looks like it does far better than what mine was, even though mine was doing pretty close. So I'm going to give you a quick run through of how this is built, so that way if you want to buy one you can, or if you want to try to build one yourself you can. But you are gonna need access to lathe. Sorry, brain fart there for a second. You are gonna need access to a lathe. So anyway, so what you get in the box is you get this half teaspoon scooper, and you get two plastic caps. This is made out of, I'm assuming it's made out of some sort of thermal resistant plastic. It's actually extremely dense. I'd never ever felt a plastic this dense. And it's extremely rigid. So if you close your eyes, it almost feels like a ceramic. That seems to be like the consistency and the weight. It almost feels like a ceramic, but it's not. It's plastic. And then of course you get a little seal here, little recessed seal. So they use a Rex C100 temperature gauge, which is what I used in mine, and it works really well. This will learn the temperature for you. It heats up fairly quickly. You have to just wait a few minutes, and once it heats up, you're good to go. But this is where I was having the issue, and this is where they've got it worked out. So this heating element, this is called a band heater, and I was purchasing band heaters, different sizes on Amazon, and with the band heaters worked fine. But I couldn't find the right size that I wanted, and B, I couldn't find one that heated up quick enough and stayed hot. And so I was making my little crucibles, and they were made out of thin copper or thin brass pipes and things like that. And what happens is when you put the oxalic acid in the cap here, and you flip this upside down, which I'll show you, I'm going to put in the video a little bit later, how this works. But you put the oxalic acid in here, and you flip this whole unit upside down and put the cap on, and you flip it right side up, and it looks like this. So when the oxalic acid goes in here and it starts sublimating, the crystals quickly cool down the whole unit here, all the metal. Okay. The problem with that is if you don't have enough thermal mass, it's going to take a while. And the one I built was just as slow as some of the units that you'd either put in the hive, or my battery-powered one that I would have outside the hive, which was okay, but I had to rely on a charged battery. So anyways, so how they did this is, I don't know the exact diameter of this pipe. I should have probably measured it before I started making this video, but oh well. So they took this copper pipe. It's a regular copper pipe. They flared out the ends here, okay? But the smart thing that they did, and this is really, really a smart idea, is that bottom there is an aluminum plug, essentially. So they took a piece of aluminum and they connected it to this flat stock, aluminum flat stock here. But what they did is the light's not the greatest, but they milled out just enough so that way they can set the copper pipe right over that aluminum. And then that aluminum is long enough so if you see here, I'm trying to do this one-handed here. If you see here, damn it, sorry. If you see here, this band heater is not only heating up your crucible here, but it's also heating up that huge thermal mass of aluminum. And so that's how you're able to get such a quick sublimation and not a large loss of heat. Was mainly because of that. So if you're looking at making one on your own, if you have access to a lathe, this is extremely simple to do. When I got it in the mail, I kind of like slapped myself in the forehead. And I was like, man, that's a really good idea, because I couldn't figure out how to keep the whole unit hot. So, and then this is a 1/4-inch piece of copper. It's towards the top here. They have it angled roughly at about a 45-degree angle, and everything's soldered into place. It's silver soldered into place here. And then they have it bent down in a 90, in and out right here. So all of this is kept very hot. They did a nice job. Designing it. So here's your K probe. This is temperature controlled as well. So you can and you could definitely make these for cheaper. I think you could probably save probably like $150 because this heating element right here I think is over $100. It's at Granger. It's a 250 watt heating element. If you want, I don't know if we can focus in on the specs of it. Let me get a little bit of light here so that way you can see it. Alright, that's probably as best as I can do to give you the spec. So you have a 42 by 50 size. It's a 250 watt. It's a 10 or 110 volt 250 watt. And then the number on here, which is this, I'm assuming it's just the date it was made, is January 23rd, 2017. So, but yeah. So if you're interested in making one, this is how they did it. Pretty nice unit. It's a pretty nice unit. It's expensive, but if you think about it, if you have 4 failed hives from varroa mites, that pays for this on its own. So if you have quite a few hives, then this is already paid for itself. So, all right, I'm gonna get ready, and I'm gonna go outside and Max. I'm gonna go outside and vape this, so that way you can see what it looks like. So we're getting ready to do the oxalic acid vapor. I've had it plugged in less than a minute. And you can see here that it's already heating up. Like I can actually smell the stuff going on. But it's heating up pretty quick. It's set to 230 degrees Celsius. Here's the cap that I was telling you about. And it's pretty deep. Like it's a pretty deep well. And about a 1/4 teaspoon does 2 grams. And that's about what you should have for 2 deeps. So you can see how much room you have left in there. So, but feel that cap. Isn't that kind of like, I know it's plastic, but doesn't it kind of feel like it should be like ceramic or something?
Feels hefty.
Yeah. Okay, you might want to just stop for a second. So we're at temperature now. What's it been, like maybe 3-4 minutes? So we're at the temperature. I'll tell you what, honey, why don't you, I really don't know where it's going to go, so we're like coming in there. So it's at 238 right now, 239, and this will eventually learn the temperature, so. Ready? That's your vapor. It's at 228, 226, 224, 220. And I might even, that's oxalic acid. Alright, and so we're already back up to temperature. And what I think I'm going to do is maybe play with this temperature a little bit to see like how low I can go, because with it being such a high temperature, you are getting close to not having a sublimation reaction. So, alright. This is a half teaspoon right here. Get over here. So you notice how much more is coming out of this than mine. So we're at 199. I think with the small amount, I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of testing. Yeah, we should wear a mask, but I think we can actually do this at 200, or we can just do this at 200 degrees Celsius. Yeah, back up to wherever you feel comfortable. So, okay. So it works really good. I'm gonna test it out with a few other temperature ranges just to see if I can do a lower temperature and if I'm gonna get just as much. Because the lower temperature, the better. I'll feel a little more safe doing that. And yeah, and it's pretty clean. Like you can see, it's pretty clean in there. Now, it does recommend to put some water in it and let the steam and everything boil out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and heat it up and let it slowly boil out and clean it up. But yeah, it's a nice small unit. It can easily fit in a toolbox or whatever, and go out with your stuff. And you can get, if you're out in the field and you have tons and tons and tons of hives, because this is only 250 watts, that you can either run this off of an inverter from your car, or I'm going to end up getting a small little generator to power a pump that we have. But you can just use a small little tiny 800 watt generator, and in about an hour you can do quite a few hives. So hope you enjoyed the video, and leave your comments below.